What's up, y'all? Talon here, coming at you with a lazy intro from the future. Honestly, when I was recording this video, I forgot to record the intro and the outro, so coming at you from the future, but still the past relative to you in the present. So yeah, correspondingly, we're actually using a Miraidon team, a Pokemon from the future, as well as a bunch of the Paradox Pokemon from the future, namely the Iron Leaves and the Iron Jugulis, which pair really well with the Electric Terrain that the Miraidon sets up. Outside of that, we have a Farigiraf with an Ursaluna, which is a really potent combination. Actually, the Miraidon Ursaluna Farigiraf combo has actually gotten really deep in a tournament, got top 4 in a tournament since recording this video, so definitely a lot of strong elements on this team. But really the cool thing about this team is you can use Iron Jugulis's Quark Drive to speed up faster than your Miraidon, go for a Dragon Cheer because for some reason it learns that move, while also getting Quark Drive. Basically that gives your Ivy Cudgel, if for some reason you don't have Miraidon on the field, a 50% chance to crit, which with a Terra Fire is pretty terrifying. And then with the Miraidon, you get a 100% crit on all your moves if you have Dragon Cheer active, even after you go for a Terra into Terra Fairy. As long as you get the initial Dragon Cheer off while you're a Dragon type, you can get the 100% crits off. With the Scope Lens on your Draco Meteor, you have Overheat as well, so those drops don't matter anymore. And if you're getting Electric Terrain crit Electro Drifts off, you're just basically one-hit KOing everything, which is a really cool aspect of this team. If you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to the channel. In the future, I think I'm going to be doing kind of wackier teams on the Battle Stadium ladder and then more serious teams just for better practice for myself on Pokemon Showdown, as well as it might be interesting for y'all to see what goes on the high ladder. We'll see a lot of interesting teams as well as test meta ones ourselves. If you want to see that, subscribe to the channel. Go follow the creator of this team on Twitter. They also create a bunch of very cool teams aside from this one, so yeah, definitely worth a follow. I'll have the PokePaste with the team in the description, as well as the rental code, which is in the top right, but I'll also put it in the description as well. With all that being said, let's get into the battles now. Okay, my opponent has a pretty common team, actually. It's the Zamazenta Rain team. Heard Wet Dog, Soggy Dog, all that kind of naming conventions, but yeah, it is the Zamazenta, Pelipper, Urshifu, probably Water, Choice Scarf. Sometimes it's Mystic Water, but usually Choice Scarf. Incineroar with Safety Goggles oftentimes, Amoonguss, and Raging Bolt. Can be Calm Mind, lefties, or AV. Fortunately, I think this matches up pretty well into their team. I don't see any terrain, obviously, from their team. We do just have Electric Terrain from the jump. Yeah, I don't think Trick Room's right at all against them, just because of the Amoonguss on their team being a reasonably likely bring. Yeah, I do like just setting this up immediately. Setting up Tailwind against them seems strong. And their Pelipper doesn't have good coverage on a Miraidon, so I feel good about that generally. Grass typing with a speed boost seems really strong against their whole team. And then last mon, I could block priority on the Incineroar as well as offer Helping Hand support. I don't think that's too valuable compared to what Helping Hand offers me, actually, so I think I will go for Double Grass in the back to handle their Amoonguss, basically. So the name of this battle is going to be, if Urshifu comes out, get Tailwind up. If anything else gets out, set up a Dragon Cheer and just start going for knockouts. Because a terrain-boosted Hadron Collider Electro Shift plus like a critical hit is just going to be really hard for them to handle. But they have this guy out, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. Because I feel like they're likely to go for a Snarl or something. So if they're Calm Mind, it's probably Snarl. I'm going to go for a Dragon Cheer, I think, just because I do not want to get dunked this turn. I guess Electric Terrain Electro Web could do a lot of damage, but I don't want to get Electric Terrain Snarl. Snarl feels right, honestly. But Dragon Cheer is very safe. I can't get Thunderclap crit, so I'm gonna go for that. And they could easily go for a Thunderclap expecting a Snarl, so I want to cover for that. You're gonna fake out the Miraidon. A lot of people not really worried about the Iron Jugulis, I've noticed. Not really getting a lot of use out of the Covert Cloak, but no Thunderclap, so Snarl would have been a good call here. For sure. Okay. Yeah, there is the Snarl on their part, so that's not going to be so effective. I think I could probably pretty safely Terra at this point. Snarl seems good as well. They're probably going to go for a Draco this turn, I have to imagine. I think I have an Electroshock KO on Ensign. Would a Draco knock me out? Probably, even through Snarl. So I'm going to go for a Snarl. Snarl Tailwind. Oh, actually, no, it should have been Tailwind this turn in case they Terra Electric Thunderclap my Jugulis. So that was a bit of a misplay, I think. Even though I'm very unlikely to go down on my Miraidon this turn, or to a Thunderclap, I think I should be going for a Tailwind, basically to cover the Urshifu coming in. But we'll see if they Terra their Raging Bolt. They don't actually. Interesting. Expecting to live the Draco. After the Snarl chip, I'm pretty sure we'll knock out the Ensign. We do just have maximum boost on our Electro Drift right now. So even if that's AV, I'd imagine this goes down. Yeah, easy KO. It's not often you can KO Incineroar with a neutral hit, but this is one of those times, thankfully. That's basically what this team is trying to set up, and they do go for the Draco Meteor, even at -1. Obviously doing less damage, but into an immunity, 0 damage, which is exactly why we have this Terra. We do have to be careful, we're now susceptible to a Behemoth Blade from them, but unless they're a defensive Terra that can handle us, I think we can safely go for Tailwind Protect. Just basically bait out a Protect or a Terra from them, set up our Tailwind, and not have to worry about... I mean, Zamazenta can't naturally outspeed Miraidon. Ooh, they are going for a switch, though. Into Amoonguss is not great, honestly. This gives them an Iron Defense. When I could have gone for a an offensive option this turn and either knocked out the Amoonguss with probably Draco on switch. Grass. Okay, so they were a defensive Terra, so I'm glad I covered for that. At this point, my Ogerpon in Tailwind kind of sweeps them if I can deal with the Raging Bolt, so feeling good about this position. Any chip into Amoonguss knocks it in Cudgel range, and probably not the same for the other guy, but okay, Iron Defense makes sense, but we do have Overheat for the rest of this game, which I'm happy about. I think I am just going to go for a Snarl into the Zamazenta and Overheat into the Amoonguss. If this hits, we knock out, and we're covering for a Protect on the Zamazenta. Because once we've hit a Air Slash into it, I'd imagine another one plus Ivy Cudgel knocks out. But yeah, they're threatening very devastating damage right now. But Focus Sash on the... I don't know. The damage output is definitely threatening. Oh, they switch out. That's a good play for sure. Because we had Overheat into the Zamazenta here for a KO. So unless they Protect, we're in some trouble actually. Or we flinch them. It is good damage though. Overheat's going to do a small chunk to this. We'll see if it's AV. Yeah, definitely AV. Dang, okay. So we had an Overheat in that slot. If we flinch, we get bailed out here, but Heavy Slam. Okay. I don't know the weight characterization on Zamazenta, but yeah, we're definitely chilling off that. I think I'm going to switch into this guy. Oops, not that. Well, I don't want to get body pressed necessarily, do I? If they take a double KO here, am I in trouble? Maybe. I think if I get some damage onto the Zamazenta, I'm good. Zamazenta, I'm still good though. So I will just go for a double up into that. Dang, they're playing really well here. Because now they have a KO on both. And they Thunderclap the... Yeah, good play. Wow, okay. So that's pretty annoying, but fine. They shouldn't be able to KO me with a Thunderclap on my other Mon, and I can double into the Zamazenta with Ivy Cudgel Air Slash, I think, but they definitely played phenomenally out of a very bad spot against the Miraidon. Aided by maybe a questionable... I don't know. Oh, yeah, because Electric Terrain was down, I'm actually not used to... And they eliminated Terrain at the perfect time for them. Wow, okay. I'm not as used to the... Like, Electric Terrain isn't up often this generation, so I forgot that Amoonguss just couldn't Spore me, so they had to Rage Powder. I can always just Overheat the Zamazenta there. The problem is I have no more Quark Drive, so they probably outspeed me, which is bad. Like, really problematic. And a Body Press almost certainly knocks me out. I've already Terra'd, I can't go Poison, which is bad news. Yeah, definitely a dangerous spot. think I'm just going to go for another double, hope I outspeed for some reason, or crit them. Wow, they are very protective of the Zamazenta here. If their Amoonguss live this, I think I actually get the opportunity to get a Tailwind, and that might be super valuable for me. That's interesting. They switched out of their defense boost. I think that's actually a really bad play. Now I can tank the Draco and get Tailwind up, and then I should beat it. I should beat the remaining Pokemon with my Iron Leaves in Tailwind. Interesting play. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, I was kind of just hopeful that they wouldn't attack into my... Oh, they're Thunderbolt on this guy too. Interesting. Oh, and we live. I don't know if that's good, but yeah, switching out Zamazenta is generally pretty inadvisable because the damage output from +1 body press, I mean, they were at +3, compared to plus nothing is really not great. Because now I should just get a free... Not free. Not really free, actually. I mean, they have to protect, they have to go for Draco, and then hope that it can knock me out with a Thunderclap the next turn, which I'm all okay with. Because we are going to get Tailwind up, and I think Draco doesn't knock me out, and I can just follow me Air Slash the subsequent turn. Even though they can go for a Snarl. I mean, I should live the Draco regardless. Yep, we're living, and then I'm pretty sure a double up won't knock me out, and now an Ivy Cudgel should knock them out, so I'm going to go for Snarl, weaken that Raging Bolt even further, and an Ivy Cudgel. Well, that's not a good play, is it? I should just Air Slash the Raging Bolt to cover for them getting a double protect here, I think. Yeah. Yep, they go for the Thunderclap and not the double protect, which I think is a worse play because they need to crit instead of just get a 33. Oh my goodness, okay. Eating my words here. We don't get knocked out on both Pokemon, so it's salvageable, and they are in defense. That's all good. It is definitely all good. We should tank another Thunderclap, and with enough Tailwind turns, we should just clear with Snarl Protect, I think. Because they have to protect here. Well, they don't have to, but we should be okay as long as they don't make a super aggressive read and Thunderclap my Iron Jugulis. We're going to get a Snarl, weaken them even further. If they go for a Snarl, I can't even imagine it knocks me out at this point. Yep, there is their Snarl. We should be living there at like -3. But yeah, the Grass Zamazenta proved to be an issue for us after a pretty bad play with my Miraidon, but good to remember that Electric Terrain does just kind of counter Amoonguss. They did get the Iron Defense off. If we miss an attack... Yeah, I don't want to miss an attack, basically. So I'm going to go for Snarl, Ivy Cudgel. They have to get a double protect again. Or go for the Draco. Should I cover for that? I think they're low enough. I should just cover for them going for the Draco plus the protect play. Yeah, and they do get it. Okay, so we're covering for that with Air Slash a little bit, but we could still definitely lose this. Oh, they Thunderclap again. Yeah, they're misplaying this. If they're going for the double protect, you go for the alternative to that, definitely. I guess I might be in range of Thunderclap now, though. Almost certainly. Which is an issue. But at the same time, they have to get a double protect. No, they don't, because Thunderclap knocks me out, huh? Okay. They played into a pretty nice spot here. Stall out my Tailwind somehow by living the attacks I really didn't expect they would. Okay, what do we do? Thunderclap probably knocks out my... this guy. I think I'm just going to go for it. Snarl Protect. Because I imagine they outspeed my Ogerpon. Even if they don't, they can just go for an Thunderclap and knock that out. So I don't want them doing that. I don't want it to get into a situation where they can... well, no, it should just be Follow Me Snarl here, for sure. They go for the double protect, covering for that, but I foolishly make a misplay anyways, yeah. So that what that should have been was Follow Me Snarl, because it's as accurate as Air Slash. It's going to knock out the Zamazenta anyways. Maybe if they're wide guard. But based on the moves they revealed, they're definitely not that. Yeah. So my play there is definitely actually Follow Me Snarl, because they can Thunderclap, but it'll fail, and then they double up into the Ogre Pawn slot. I get the Snarl off. They'd have to get a triple protect to get out of that jam. So, weirdly played, but we do find our way out. At this point, yeah, they probably should forfeit, but I don't know. They found some crazy out so far, so maybe I'm missing something. But yeah, they do cancel out, so good game to them. I think that was a pretty good showcase for Miraidon that I kind of threw away just because the Amoonguss spooked me. But essentially, yeah, once you get in that position after you're outspeeding everything, you should just be getting KOs left and right on super effective targets. And if you read a switch into a defensive switch in, they might have like an AV Rillaboom into your Electro Shots. You can just overheat that. So yeah, I think definitely misplayed on the very non-threatening Amoonguss when I had a free overheat KO into the Zamazenta with no damage coming out from the Amoonguss slot and no Spore pressure. We've actually played this opponent before. We'll see. I don't think it doesn't look like they've changed their team, but definitely could surprise me here. We went with Miraidon the last one, and it worked out pretty well. I'm considering doing that again. Yeah, because we are Covert Cloak, that kind of surprised them, I think, and we could just run that Gambit again. I think I will try that just to see, like, get aggressive on them, essentially. But we'll see. Across a day, best of threes are always interesting. It's happened a couple times where you just play someone on ladder one day, you lose or you win, you adapt in the next one, and then the third one is kind of funky. Because it's still closed team sheet, but you kind of don't... I mean, you know what they're doing, but you don't know all their tricks. They might have like a third final trick for you, and this is the second game in our set, I believe. So we'll see. I remember them playing pretty aggressively with their Miraidon without tearing in front of mine, which was kind of surprising, but at the same time, I guess to be expected. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, they have a shiny, what is that, the Skeledirge pre-evo? But if we want, we can just go for Tailwind Draco into their Miraidon with not a lot of risk if they don't Terra. And I think I am tempted to do that. I think they were a Life Orb one the last time. So, yeah. Freeze Dry probably not a KO onto us, which is good. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Tailwind, Terra Fairy ourselves. And Draco. If they switch into something, they'll take a Draco, which is good. They are going for a Terra of their own, though. Interesting. That is their Iron Bundle. Okay. Terra Ice. They might just be going for a Freeze Dry knockout into my Iron Jugulis. Given they got a speed boost and I am very specially defensive, I doubt that works out for them. And even if it does, I confirmed they were Life Orb the last game, so we'll just knock out their Miraidon. And I guess it will be a speed tie, honestly, but I think that's something I'm comfortable with. There is the Freeze Dry. Won't be knocking out my Miraidon, but might get my Jugulis here. Nope. So they have to get a Freeze here, which they do not. We get the Tailwind. If we hit this Draco, we are up pretty huge. Nice. Awesome. So the last game was a lot more slower paced. It came down to some mind games, but this one... proving to be very different. Knockouts right off the bat, early Terra, kind of more what you might expect from hyper-offensive teams like this. There is the Garg, but we do have Tailwind advantage, so I'm not stressing it so much. We can go for the Dragon Cheer, get our 100% accurate Electro Drift on the field, and I think, given that's probably Focus Sash Iron Bundle, I'm just going to go after the Garg this turn. We do have the speed advantage. Iron Bundle protects. Oh yeah. This is the kind of battle you really do want to see from the Miraidon. Just getting knockout early, maybe waste a Draco, go down to -2 special attack, and then just get your Dragon Cheer 100% active crits going early. So there's the Dragon Cheer. We are 100% So there's the Dragon Cheer. We're 100% crit on the Garganackle, and we do just knock it out with the Hadron Collider, or Hadron Engine. ability active, electric terrain, electro drift, just one-hit KOing even one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the game in Garganacl. Can Gambit last, not really what you want to see. And they did just burn a Protect, so I don't think the Iron Bundle is too big of a threat at this point in the game, so what I'm going to go for... Okay, they could Sucker Punch my Iron Jugulis, but I do feel like we do kind of just have a free double with Electro Drift and the King Gambit. They could protect that, but yeah, they do cancel out. I think maybe we could throw on targeting the wrong slots, but I didn't want them to get a freeze dry off. Basically sucker, like I do have a free double if they don't sucker, but if they do sucker, then they can maybe freeze dry my Miraidon and that gets weird. So I wanted to take a KO or break a Focus Sash no matter what that turn. Okay, our opponent here has, I think, Wolf's team with the Clefairy Shadow Rider stuff. It could be some variation, but on his it was AV Rillaboom, Scarfrilla, Rain Dance Torn, and Focus Sash. Terra Ghost on the Ghost Boy, which is all good. I feel like Covert Cloak Iron Jugulis handles that pretty well. I could go Trick Room as well, but we do Clefairy can get after you, which actually messes us up in Trick Room pretty badly because they can go for a... Well, I guess they'd still be able to go for Psychic, which is annoying. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this on lead, set up Tailwind perhaps, and then... Yeah, a bit of a weird spot. I think Trick Room might actually be my best route here. Really just getting Electric Terrain up later is ideal, if I can do that. So I think I'm going to lead with it. I want this in the back defensively, and then I think I will just go with the Iron Leaves in the back to try and handle this threatening Calyrex and the rest of the Pokemon. So I think they can just easily switch into the Rillaboom first turn, but to do that they have to sacrifice some tempo, maybe take a hit from the like from a Draco Meteor or something like that, which I'm all good with. So Urshifu plus Tornadus, fair enough. I doubt we'll live a Rain Dance, but it's possible. But fortunately, they can't knock us out with close combat. I'm pretty sure of that. I think I can kind of safely go for a Tailwind Draco. I feel like Draco knocks out Urshifu if they don't switch into the Rillaboom, and if they do, I get Tailwind up. I'm probably going to switch this guy out anyways, so... Question is, do I drift or do I do another move? I think Bleak Wind's kind of non-threatening right now. They switch into Rillaboom, that's okay. I get a free... Rillaboom in the back. I should probably chip down this Tornadus, truthfully, so it's in range of Snarl in a turn. Tough call. Tough call for sure. I think I'm going to go actually after the Tornadus. Yeah, and they don't protect either, so I could have knocked out the Urshifu if it is Scarf. We will see. They're going to U-turn, which is going to do neutral. Probably U-turning out into Rillaboom, so I feel pretty happy about this this sequence. They'd have to be Terra Fairy Calyrex for them to come in and knock out my Iron Jugulis, but it is the Rillaboom, so we're going to get the Electro Shot, break the Torn's Focus Sash most likely, and be in a good spot. So the Quark Drive does wear off, but we get the Tailwind up anyway, so not that big of a concern. Boom. No Focus Sash on the Torn, which I think it was Covert Cloak on Wolfey Variant, so not the biggest surprise, but I'm glad to take the knockout for turn 1 and basically remove one more Pokemon that they can switch in and out of. One thing of note, if they bring in the Urshifu, Calyrex in. Okay, I feel like this is where Covert Cloak comes in really handy for us. Yeah, they did set up Tailwind of their own. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty free Snarl. Yeah, this is a huge Covert Cloak turn, TBH. And no reason to risk our... They could switch into Urshifu, which would be a concern. So maybe I cover for that? How could I cover for that? I kind of like switching into this guy. Defensively, yeah, I'm going to take a lot from an Astral Barrage if they go for that, which they definitely can. But if they bring in the Urshifu, I want to have Follow Me active on the board if they're Scarf. Which, I mean, they are Scarf, just based on the first turn. So they are going to go for the Terastallization. Hopefully they're not Terra Fairy, but they are. They got me. Ah, that's pretty bad, actually. Okay, that's pretty bad. Oh, they Nasty Plot. That's totally fine. I'm breaking their Focus Sash. And maybe not the best, actually. Maybe not the best. I can switch in and get Quark Drive active at the end of this turn, though, so that's fine. They do U-turn, smart play. I could have gone for a, like, maybe Air Slash Draco into the Calyrex to be a bit more aggressive, but they didn't bite on the Covert Cloak, which was definitely a smart play on their behalf. I think I still do have outs here, because I don't think a Astral Barrage will knock me out, which is good. So I think I can still pretty safely go for Air Slash Follow Me, like the plan was. If I had Grassy Glide, that'd be cute, but I do not. I could bring them back down to neutral. Is that valuable? What boost am I getting on this guy? Speed. Okay. Yeah, that could be workable, actually. If I could just knock out the Rillaboom, that'd be good. Should I Snarl or Air Slash? I think Air Slash, it forces them to bring in the Rilla. Yep. So I could have Snarled to bring them back down to neutral. But I think... Oh. You know what? I did not think about them knocking me out with the Surging Strike. Thankfully they don't, which I kind of expected, but close combat would have knocked us out there, so that was a miscalculation on my part. I thought I would always be safe from a Follow Me, but they go for Astral Barrage anyway, so it's fine. Air Slash, we do live, even though at +2 it would have knocked me... Oh yeah, it was a crit. Even at +2 we would have survived that, but the crit maybe puts us in range of a critical hit Grassy Glide, which is of concern, but they also get this boost up, which is annoying, and we miss our Air Slash. Okay. That's really bad. But I think maybe still winnable? Question mark? Maybe not. We have Focus Sash, we can get a speed drop at a whim. Is that workable? Probably not, because they can just remove our Quark Drive. Yeah, that miss was pretty bad. I doubt we knock out, but at least it pressures them a bit more. Yeah, this is super bad. What's the play then? Tailwind, matched. They're boosted up. Yeah, them being Terra Fairy was not part of the game plan, unfortunately. And with Rillaboom in the back, we are in some trouble. We might have to hit a Psyblade and just knock them out. Which is concerning. You never want it to come down to that. I guess I should have Snarled last turn, because then I would have broken their Focus Sash. So that's my bad. What can we do? Yeah, I think they have to not be... I need the Air Slash that turn. Yep, I second-guessed myself there and then didn't input the right move there. I think I'm going to default to Psyblade still, because it's the first move slot, but I don't know. So we're going to get the speed boost here, but whether we hit the Calyrex or the Urshifu is pretty important. Yep, there's the speed boost, but again... yeah, if I had Air Slashed, I still don't think we would have knocked out, but it would have been closer. Bummer. Okay. Yeah, now they just Astral Barrage and knock me out. So well played by them. Yeah, this is where open team sheet would have been nice, but we are playing on closed online, so we definitely have a bunch of tricks on my team, so not something I can be too mad about, just getting out-terra'd in that battle. Yeah, I feel like this Jugulis obviously does exceptionally well against a Terra Ghost Calyrex, but the Terra Fairy one definitely proved to be an issue for us here. I think that matching Tailwind's turn 1 was probably correct, but what I should have gone for is probably just Tailwind not attack into the Torn, because giving them that free switch in, this is something that's a pretty common theme in restricted formats, is Tornadus' damage output, while impressive, and like the Rain Dance is annoying, giving it a free switch into their restricted Pokemon more often than not is actually just a bad play for your team's tempo, and that proved to be the case here. Okay, not quite what I was looking to play against, but the team actually looks pretty fun, so we might actually play it out. So they have 4 restricteds and 2 mythicals in Deoxys and Darkrai. Are those even legal in game? I would lean towards saying no, but you know, here they are, so it is what it is. No terrain control, so I'm happy with that. I think I will just set it up right off the bat. Honestly, I could see this guy being pretty good outside of the Iron Hand. That is very, very threatening, but I could Helping Hand wipe that pretty easily, honestly. I think I'm actually going to go for that. I don't really think Ogerpon is that strong here. I think a hybrid angle is pretty strong. If I can set up Tailwind against the Darkrai is kind of annoying, but I have Electric Terrain for that. And Dark Void is 50% accurate anyways. They'd have to hit me with a Dark Pulse, and I don't think that'll knock out unless their Life Orb respects, but yeah. Played it a little less straight here than I could have with Tailwind, but I think we should just be kind of free to go for Snarl turn 1 against Deoxys attack, so I'm all good with that. How fast is Deoxys attack, actually? I might just be able to knock out both and go for a KO. Deoxys attack, 150 base speed? Definitely not, actually. Deoxys activates pressure second, though. I don't know if Hadron Engine activates first or not. Darkrai 125, so I would be able to outspeed that. I think I'm just going to go Snarl Protect. This thing has Paper Special Defense, yeah, 50, 20, 20 defensive stats, so I think going for a Snarl is just all around a good play here. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we just did a Snarl Electro Shot play. Yeah, that's maybe why you don't want to use Deoxys in a format where everyone's trying to counter Psychic types. Oh my god, they did go for Dark Void, and they have a 50% chance to hit. And they don't hit it, okay. Yeah, at that point just run Hypnosis, honestly. That's so crazy. Okay, yeah, they bring out the Miraidon. I feel like we can just go for... we are susceptible to a Dragon type move here, so I'm going to go for a Tailwind Electro Shot. Just take the guaranteed stuff, knock out the Darkrai, and... well, Miraidon's kind of threatening, huh? Yeah, I should probably just Draco Meteor the Miraidon. I could Terra Fairy too. That's almost certainly correct, yeah. No reason to preserve anything. I'm just going to go for Tailwind, knock out that Miraidon if it doesn't go for a Terra. And if it does, then Close Combat plus a Dark move shouldn't be knocking me out, and Dragon move is not going to do any damage, so not worried about a stray Breaking Swipe or a stray Outrage here. No Terastallization. Who knows if they remembered to go for a... Who knows if they got the Terra Orb before they hacked in the Darkrai and the Deoxys? It's impossible to say. I mean, they might not be hacking. I just don't know. I haven't seen any Deoxys or Darkrai in-game, so I just feel like it feels unlikely to me that they got it legit. Also, the Dialga... I mean, I guess it is casual ladder. There's no guarantee these are like 31 IV Mons or like 0 IV. But I just feel like so few people have actually played the games necessary to get these Pokemon, and Darkrai is what, an event-only Pokemon? as far as I'm aware, so yeah, just feels unlikely. Just gonna go for the Dragon Cheer combo, take a knockout into the Darkrai unless they terrestrialize into anything other than like ground, I have to imagine. Oh, water is definitely not the Terra you want to be going for. That is questionable Terra for sure. That's gonna maybe accelerate the pace of this game beyond a rate at which they're comfortable with. I guess with a bunch of normal types left, it's not over, but I don't know. Drain Punch is definitely threatening, but they have to go for Heavy Slam here. They have to have Heavy Slam, I think, and also go for it. But yeah, we get the critical hit Electro Shots going late in this game. Yep, there's the Wild Charge, but that is the wrong target, my friend. You're just chipping yourself down for a devastating Electro Shot and guaranteeing that you're not Focus Sash. That does way less HP on the Wild Charge than I would have expected. That did 60. That's like max HP Iron Hands, I think. Yeah, that's got to be like max HP. We'll go for a... do I go for Trick Room? Nah, just Helping Hand. Hit through any Wakan Berry nonsense that could be there. Yeah, they should have taken 67 HP from the Wild Charge, and they took so little damage there. Iron Hand's HP stat kind of hovers around, I think, 240 max, so... that should have done a 4th, and that was way closer to like a 5th, or maybe even less, so that's got to be like max HP hands, which is kind of crazy. Alright, we will take it. That was a weird one. You just kind of see why Deoxys, even when it is legal, if it ever has been, I think it's a mythical, so it never has been. That's one of the reasons it's never good. Before Psychic Terrain especially, but now when you have anything that's faster than it, that can just like smack it a little bit, it just goes down. It's like, got probably worse bulk than Shuckle after a power trick, which is a weird metric that I know, but yeah. A weird metric to base it on, but yeah, that's why Deoxys is not too good, especially in a format where everyone is trying to counter another Psychic type. It kind of just falls under the umbrella of all the counters. So ending on a bit of a silly note facing that Deoxys team, but I think there's definitely a lot of strength to this strategy, maybe a little bit cheesy, but the Dragon Cheer with the 100% crit Miraidon is definitely super potent when you can get into position, but I think Volt Switch has proven to be a lot more consistent with a bunch of U-turn Pokemon on the team to basically just pivot around a Rillaboom, switching in and setting up grassy terrain and really raining on your Quark Drive and Electric Terrain Parade, so I think that's probably going to be more relevant in the future, but if you want to try out a cheesy team on your way up to Battle Stadium rank Master, this team can definitely be very effective at that, as well as just being a fun bring whenever you want to have a good time and just hit your crit moves and go brrr. So yeah, that'll do it for today. Hope you guys enjoy. Please subscribe if you did, and with all that being said, peace y'all.